Okay.
Okay. So usually I don't do any intros. I do the intro after the podcast.
Okay. Excellent. No worries.
In this episode of Madhouse, we speak to John Birungi, a digital marketing strategy consultant, about how he got into digital marketing and all the cool things he has been up to. Enjoy the episode. Yeah. So let's just get right into it. So for the listeners, I guess just like introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do. Yeah, things like that.
Okay. Well, my name is John Birungi Babirukamu.
Okay.
I'm a digital marketing strategy consultant with Zen Digital Africa, which is a young digital strategy consultancy company, a digital strategy and training consultancy company.
Okay.
So I have been in the digital marketing space for the past 10 years, or 11 years rather. So I started in 2010.
Okay.
So my first encounter with digital marketing was with NSSF, where I helped to set up their social media presence. Because then I worked for a company called Imaginet that built and managed their website and their e-statement system.
Okay.
So that's where I got some of my experience from. Then in 2012, I moved to NBS, where I went to set up their digital marketing arm. And from there, spent 4 years at NBS, helped them build their first app, their website, the streaming, built them into the number one engaging brand in Uganda. By the time I left in 2016, I think we had already reached a million strong in terms of following.
Nice.
Then from then, I moved to Metropolitan Republic, which is an agency where I worked for 1 year, handling likes of Shell, MTN, Stanbic, and Eskom, which is the power company that runs the Nalubali and Kira dams. Then from then, I went directly to MTN. 2017. And I spent 2 years there in MTN. Still doing digital communications, their digital communications manager. And I was part of a team that basically, if I may say, rebooted their social presence, because before MTN was suffering from a very bad image online, but from the issues of Gonya and whatnot, but we turned it around. Along with the brand team and everyone in the marketing team, and we made it a loved brand online again. And from then on, I moved to QG, QG Group, which is an agency. So my main function there was obviously was as digital director to run the digital for their clients, but most importantly for government. That was running it 40% of all its media buy through QG. So I was doing the digital media buy. And nice. I stayed there till December last year, where I decided to go full time into my consultancy.
That's nice. So I'm very interested. I mean, you've been here and all over the place, which is really nice. I wanted to know, before all this, before NSSF, what were you in, and how did you sort of slowly start getting into like digital marketing and digital media? I wanted to know.
Well, I was a computer scientist. Yes, so I was a computer scientist. Graduated from a career in 2006. Computer science. And I was a web designer. So I was, into web programming. So it's through that web programming that I joined Imaginet, and from then, that's when I found my passion, which is digital marketing.
Okay. Oh, that's really nice. So I'm very interested in knowing. I mean, you've really moved all over the place. Like, I mean, NSSF, and it don't seem to it's like you're saying, is there more? I mean, I'm very fascinated. Were you always looking for something else as you were moving, or were you It's like you're looking for something interesting, like you're looking for a challenge, or I don't know, but the way
For me,
the way you were moving,
for me,
it always felt like you were moving for. Sorry, it felt like you were always searching for something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I love to build brands online. So I love I love the challenge of building brands online and making them big. So nice. I guess So I guess for NSF it was a trial basis really, because as a contractor with Imaginet.
Yeah.
So it was a trial of sorts, but it got them to a point where they said, okay, now we need to really invest in it.
Yeah.
For NBS, my time at NBS was also an excellent time for growth for me, because you build a brand from nothing, leave it when it is at the top.
Yeah.
And I basically left NBS entirely because after the 4 years of consistent work, because NBS is a really fast-paced place. It's not the kind of place you settle down. It's because news is there every time. So I needed a change of scenery because I was exhausted after 4 years of consistent running up and down and doing this and that. But as much as it was fast-paced and non-stop, it was also one of my best times in my career, because we ended up achieving so much.
That's nice.
The two agencies, the reason why I left the two agencies was QG I left entirely because my contract ran out.
Yeah.
But I left Metropolitan Republic again because MTN had moved. Were the agency for MTN, and they were the biggest client, and basically my role there was 70% MTN. So when MTN moved, it was either move as well or get a pay cut. I guess I had impressed so much at MTN that they called me in as well. So
that's nice. Nice. So you moved with MTN.
Yes, I moved from being from the agency to being internally at MTN.
Okay, that's really nice. I mean, you've said very interesting things, but it's because this is the Creative Asylum podcast process, and is very important for the kind of things we're very interested in, and having conversations with people like you. Throughout, I just want you to share with the listeners, I would say, I would start with failure, because some of the things some of the listeners sort of have to navigate and deal with. But being in all the positions, I wanted to know if you could share a story where, especially I'm interested with the NBS because of the fast-paced nature of NBS's kind of media. I'm very interested in understanding, sharing a story where you sort of failed, and how you sort of not failed, but maybe made a mistake and had to figure out how to learn from that mistake and overcome it, and then just move forward. I don't know, or even not MDS, but NSSF, Imaginet, or what's that place you said? QG.
Metropolitan or QG.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can NSF obviously, NBS obviously there were many failures, because we're trying a lot of new stuff that was and a lot of new stuff that was by then very new, at least here. Okay.
NBS, so that was the start of social media here. That's when you guys social media was starting to be a thing. Is that around the time?
Well, social media started, I guess, in around 2007, 2008. That's when Facebook started taking off. But I mean, when companies were getting very serious with social media around 2012, 2013. But we're not just posting and stuff. We're actually doing so we're doing new stuff, like, for example, doing a newsletter, doing online streaming for TV, which then, there wasn't anything being done here locally. Doing stuff like building a mobile app, which was again a challenge, because there weren't that many app designers. So we did a lot of new stuff, if I can put that in quotes, here locally, because we're pioneering. But I guess for me, my failure was to really monetize the online bit for NBS entirely because I guess I didn't make a strong enough case for the investment needed. But the good thing is that a huge part of the plan that I put together and the proposal that I put together have actually now been executed by Next Media.
That's nice.
They recently released a media app with many other media houses. So that was something that I was trying to push for and see if we can monetize it, and most importantly, have an application that doesn't run off your data, your data rating, but is whitelisted so that you can pay a flat fee.
To consume the content on it.
Exactly. So
nice.
You pay for a day, you pay for a month, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the idea that we had in 2015.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But it was difficult. One, convincing the telecoms wanted to convince on the pricing. It was difficult convincing management then to invest in it. And also, I guess it was way too early because then internet usage was still very low. I mean, if we had about 3 to 4 million internet users then, it was still way too low for it to become financially viable. And yet now with 11 million viewers, with 11 million internet users rather, it's something that you can know that you can go target, even if you're to get half a million users for the app. You're making profit.
Nice. Okay.
So now it is viable. Then I think it was too early. We're thinking way too ahead of our time.
That's nice.
But so I think that was a major, for me at least, that was the one major thing that I regret at the time, not being able to really monetize the digital arm.
Okay. That's really cool. And also, so you're also going to share with us like the opposite, like some of what you said we won and we just took it to Cloud9 and just like and I mean, you could just share a story where there was sort of a success in your sort of way as you sort of figured out this whole digital media and digital marketing for different organizations. Especially, I'm very interested with government, especially what did QG and government sort of social media and media buys for them. I'm very interested in knowing if there's how you were able to assess a win in that space, because like with government, it's sort of a very interesting space to sort of like, how do you assess a win in terms of if the ad buy or the promotion or the thing that's being pushed sort of has sort of done something?
Well, with government, it's a whole different animal. It's completely complex because one, there are too many players who are powerful to say yes or no. There's too much politics involved, so it's a whole different animal from corporate companies where you have to convince 2 or 3 people. But I guess for me, the bit that I'll say was a major success. So we did a COVID awareness campaign last year. From April till July, I think. April till June. And it was the biggest media buy campaign that I've ever done. But also it was also the biggest campaign in terms of media buy, I think, in Uganda.
Nice.
So by the time we were done, when we were measuring the impact of the campaign, we could clearly show that I think it was about 91%. 91% of internet users in Uganda had either engaged or been reached through the ads that we did.
Wow, nice.
The Tonsembera campaign, I think you can remember that.
Tonsembera, I remember that.
There was a massive campaign on other media, radio, TV, and whatnot. But for internet users, we reached about 91% of internet users, which was a massive success for us.
It's about like 10 million. 91%
Then it was about 9 million because then the internet users were about 9.7 million. So it was about 9 or 8 point something million. But we did reach an unbelievable number of people. We didn't expect to reach that many people, but it also helped to open the eyes of the Ministry of ICT ICT staff who are basically in charge of that project, the Consolidated Media Buy project for government.
To see the potential of what it could do.
Okay. Another
nice.
failure maybe is that we didn't get them to then jump onto advertising on social media. They were mainly advertising through local media, local online media websites, but also a little bit as well through search advertising. So the biggest failure, I guess, was to get them was failing to convince them that we needed to advertise on Twitter, on Facebook, but we still got around that through getting the media houses to participate in the campaign on social media channels.
Okay, that's really nice. Could you share? I'm very interested. I have like so many other questions going through my head, but I'm very interested in if you could share with all these like less failures and wins. What are like the things that you think that you sort of are now adopting now, like the lessons learned, and then how are you adopting them? I think after QG and in your consultancies now. I'm very curious. That's my first curiosity of like how you're adopting them now that we have all these, with all the lessons that you've sort of gone through.
Yeah, well, for starters, one key lesson is when you're doing a proposal, you must always have a return on investment to show for your proposal. Meaning, the person who is going to sign your check or approve the project should be able to see tangible. You should be able to see a proposal for tangible results and how you're going to measure. Because sometimes we propose big ideas, but because we can't show the person who's paying for the ideas how they're going to get their money back or the value that they're going to get, they don't end up investing. That's one huge lesson. Another one is another lesson that I got is most importantly, always invest in tools for measurement. So tools for social listening, tools for measuring your campaigns, tools even for measuring your return on investment. If you don't invest in them, then you can't have the kind of report that the person who's signing the checks needs to see.
Okay. And are these tools like very expensive, or you're just looking? Depends, I guess, on the range. But what are you using for now? Like you right now, what tools are you investing in? I'm very curious because I've heard of them, but I also wanted to know.
Well, for starters, I use one called Meltwater.
Okay.
I've also been pushing for a lot of corporate companies and government as well to invest in this tool because I really believe in it. It's a really lovely tool in terms of giving you what people are talking about your brand online, and that's across not just social media, but on publications, on what people are saying in chat rooms and whatnot. So it's a really excellent tool that I've come to use.
Oh, nice.
Then some other basic tools that are free, like the normal analytics for pages. So Facebook analytics, Twitter analytics, and some other smaller custom tools like Rival IQ, just to see how you're competing against others in your sector, that sort of thing.
Okay, that's cool. Since you talking about digital media and tools, do you think there is I've always been fascinated. There seem to be so many creative people in that space, but not a lot of data analytical people in the space. And yet it seems that both need to be best friends. It seems like everyone's just talking about like the content. And then I'm like, okay, I will make the content, but how do we know if we're winning as we make this content? And it seems to ignore as long as they're seeing some content and a few likes, and then they just keep going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, Unfortunately, it's an issue because we don't have that many technical people in the field. So because we don't have that many technical people in the field, we get a lot of people focusing on content, yet content is just one of the 4 arms of digital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's strategy, there's content, there's analytics, and there's advertising.
Okay.
So to get people to know all 4 arms of digital marketing and to get people skilled, what I'm doing now is partnering with different organizations to get people to acquire these skills.
Okay. Cool.
Very, very big for me right now is I'm partnering with Innovation Village.
Okay.
And they have a venture called Upskill. And Upskill is actually giving free training. So we do a 4-week training course with students.
Okay.
And the students then get to learn all 4 arms of digital marketing and receive a certificate at the end of it. And so far right now, I'm with 2nd class.
Nice.
And guys seem to be really having their eyes opened by the content that we're teaching them.
That's nice. That's really nice.
And then another one that I work with is MOOBS, which is the Makerere University Business School.
Yeah.
But that is mainly a function of their training hub. So we do it a lot for corporate arms as well. So
that's really nice.
MOOBS and Innovation Village are major partners for me.
Okay.
To train different people. But I also work with Uganda Marketing Society.
Yeah.
That gives the organizations of its members training.
Okay. So every professional marketeers can come and just like polish up their skill set and just like add some new superpowers to their already existing superpowers. Yeah.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's a joke I used to do with Jackie. So that's why
I work with other organizations as well, like PROW.
Yeah.
I've done trainings through PROW. So PR practitioners can get to have a good understanding of digital. So I'm trying as much as possible to work with the professional bodies.
Yeah.
Because then it can help me reach as many people as opposed to going and pitching to one individual and and trying to do one training, which is not financially which is difficult on my side as well, because you're doing one person at a time as opposed to then covering a whole lot range of people.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, if you impress, can also give you work for the consultancy.
Very true.
Yeah.
And so I'm very interested. Your consultancy, how is it going? I mean, any cool things that they've been doing as you're doing this consultancy? Any exciting projects that you're working on that you'd have?
Well, we're mainly doing digital strategy. So we work with companies to help them build their strategy, their digital strategy, which I've realized is a huge gap for companies, because even companies that have digital agencies still come to us for consultancy to try and see how we can cover that gap. So it's a huge gap that even agencies are suffering from. And so far so good. Some of our clients are very, very happy. Some of them are still work in progress. So we're moving on. Still a very young company.
Yeah, that's nice.
But so far so good. Yeah,
that's nice. So as we get to the end of the podcast, which is awesome, I usually ask every guest to share one life lesson. It doesn't have to be anything digital marketing. It's just a life lesson that someone can just adopt. It may be in their creative professional life or outside their creative professional life, but something that you as John use every day, and they can take that with them as they live or create coolness. Yeah.
Well, for me particularly, my major life lesson is finding your ikigai. If you go online and you search for the word ikigai, it's a Japanese concept about finding your purpose for being. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Japanese believe that there are 4 circles in life that you have to find an intersection for.
Okay.
Basically, what you're good at.
Yeah.
What you love.
Yeah.
What you can get paid for, and what the world needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you cannot intersect all those 4.
Yeah.
What you're good at, what you love, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for.
Yeah.
If you can't intersect all 4, then you've not found your true purpose in life.
Okay.
For me particularly, I think the one thing that I missed before I went into digital marketing was something that I loved.
Yeah.
I loved computers, but I didn't exactly love programming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So finding that one bit that I loved was then when I found my ikigai in digital marketing. So I keep telling people that if you cannot find your ikigai, then you haven't reached your purpose.
Yeah.
And you must find your purpose for you to find. I don't know who said that if you're doing a job that you love, then you're not working. You don't work a day in your life.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So you need to find that one thing, your ikigai, and then you'll stop working for someone. You'll start being paid for doing something you love. So always look for your ikigai, and once you get it, do it to the fullest of your ability.
Nice. Thank you so much, John, for your time. This has been exciting.
You're welcome.
My brains are going like, hey, we should do some stuff more for ideas especially because our audience are really young creators, and I think finding some very interesting opportunity between like digital marketing strategy and all those things, but for like young filmmakers, creators, artisans, and things like that, I think would be exciting. But I think we'll have
a conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, cool. Let me just stop recording.
Cheers.
This. Yeah.